Greetings again, everyone. This is Bob Martin, the RCSubGuy with the NautilusDryDocks.com, coming to you from Spring, Texas with our weekly update video. In this video, we run through everything that occurs throughout the course of the week. You can see how we do things here, all of our trials, tribulations, successes, failures, everything uncensored. So, really hope you enjoy it. It's Monday, May the 6th, and it's time to get started. So like I said, it's Monday, May the 6th, and if you guys have been following the news, you'll have seen that Houston got hammered by thunderstorms. There was flooding all over here. Fortunately, here at our property, which is up on a big hill, we had no problem at all. Just a lot of debris blown down from the trees and that kind of a thing. So no problems. It did, however, impact our ability to do testing, primarily of 3 different projects that were all backed up. So our notorious Billy, the 5-foot RC Shark, needs to have its final test and video. The DeBoer Skipjack in 148, which is also the USS Shark, by the way, and our recently quasi-finished Bronco Type 23, which we knocked out yesterday in over the course of 2 days. So hopefully today, with the weather being better, it's just kind of hot and muggy and a little cloudy, we should be able to get these things in the water, get some footage so you guys can see how they turn out. Really just need to check final operation, make sure the trim is all locked in and going well. It's 9:15 here right now. Logan's dropping Renee off at the airport because she's going to be going out for some business travel. So Logan and I are going to be batching it this week. Spent the morning so far, though, boxing up a bunch of orders from that huge lot of RC Sub awesomeness that you guys saw from last week's video. So we sold a lot, but there's still a lot left. Check out the bargain bin because it will show you everything that's left, all the prices, the details, the photos. Everything is there for you to check out. So we are doing up waybills for all of these packages. I just thought it was super cool. One customer, the address is just The Cottage in Yeovil, United Kingdom. So apparently there's only one cottage in Yeovil, and that's where he lives. All right, as you can see, we are outside at the top secret test facility, and we're going to be checking all 3 boats. It's sunny out for the first time in like a week, but it's supposed to be raining for the next 4 days. So it's really important we get these things in the water and find out where we stand with them. Ideally, they'll be done so we can box them up tomorrow and get them off to their new owners. We're going to start out with USSSSS Shark. And then we're going to move on to the other Sharky Shark. And then if we have time or inclination, we're going to dunk the 23. All right, here we go. First time in the water in a while. Let's see how she does. Looks pretty darn good to me. Maybe a little tiny bit heavy in the nose. Let's see what happens here. All right, shark's almost there. That trim is utterly perfect. All right, we didn't get a lot of footage of the skipjack in the water, but it was perfectly trimmed, like utterly perfectly trimmed, which is kind of cool that it still is after all of these years of me pulling it together. Just want to show you, we just got it out. It's still all wet and everything, but not even a drip of water in the watertight cylinder. Everything is looking really, really good there. So I think we're going to call this one successful. We're going to bring it back in the shop, dry it out, and hopefully it'll be dry enough tomorrow that we can pack it up, get her off to the new owner. So Now we are on to the real shark. I just love how easy it is to assemble and disassemble Billy and all our sharks.
It's a bit weird to get used to when you're standing over it, though. I'm used to it on the bench. There it is.
Okay. It's looking good. Devil shark ready for the water. So we are going to dunk this in. It's getting late here. We're tired. Shark went well. The other shark went well. I really just want to see roughly where we're at. Do I need to add a bunch of foam? Do I need to add a bunch of weight? And then I can do that in the shop and hit it again tomorrow. So this is going to be the inaugural dunking of the 23. Let's see where it sits. Well, I'd say offhand we need to add quite a bit of weight in the front. Okay. That works for me.
Well, for a kind of final project, we're looking at the paint scheme for the Neptune Thunder Tiger. And we got a really cool recommendation, with a little bit of featured art, to try and make it look like the P-51 Mustang. Now, this is a very stylized version. Of course, we can't have the wings sticking out like this or the big canopy top like that. But we are going to have the sticker probably a bit back here. We're going to stylize the wings as much as we can when planes are only, this big. Have those looking all nice. We've got some nice chrome paint over there, so the whole thing's going to be flat chrome.
Genolite chrome paint.
And it's going to have the white and black stripes across the back here, where it's nice and flat. We're going to try and do the checkerboard here. And we're considering... We've got two leading mentalities here. I like the nose being red, like the classic P-51 Mustang. However, there are some variations that have a yellow nose. So, going to figure that out. I'm still voting red.
I'm kind of voting red, too. And that'll help a lot for visibility in the water.
In case you couldn't spot the chrome boat.
And we'll play around. I don't know. I was kind of thinking maybe we print out some machine guns here or some exhaust things coming out the side. I don't know. And then this is the stock canopy, but it looks like an aircraft canopy. So, you know, if we put a little bar across there and paint it black so it looks like that's where the pilot sits, I think it's going to look super cool. And get the, you know, the Air Force sticker right here as big as we can. I ordered one off Amazon. It's 5 inches by a little more than that.
We can trim it up a little bit, though, because it's got, like, gray borders all the way up around the outside.
Yeah, we'll get rid of those for sure. And we'll just paint over, like, all of this will just get painted over to make it just look like panels and stuff. I think it'll be really cool. I'm excited about that. I think it's going to look really cool. Certainly better than just yellow. All right, it is Tuesday. Yes, it is. We are bringing some stuff out to the shipping store because they don't do a pickup here. We got some DHL stuff and some USPS stuff. And we also got to drop Gracie off. She's going to get a haircut. But here we are working on some things. You can see Logan is busy working on our World War II fighter plane Thunder Tiger. Just hitting this with some fine grit sandpaper, roughing up the plastic so the paint gets a good bite on everything. Then we'll do a prime, and then we'll do our paint with our Genolite chrome paint, which I have some high hopes for. The decals are on order. I don't think they're going to actually be here, though, for like a week or so. So we got to wait for those until last, which is fine. That's not a problem at all. Other thing I did is did a little bit of work on the 23. So as I mentioned yesterday, she was heavy in the stern and light in the bow. So I added some lead weight in there. And those are duck decoy weights. And then I actually added also a little bit of foam in the back. So we'll see between the two if it seesaws the boat back up to where it needs to be. I got a sneaky suspicion what we might need to do is a little bit more foam high and then some more weight down low just to create some more stability. But we'll see. We'll see how this does when we dunk it next. After all this is done, we're going to be boxing up Skipjack and Shark and get those ready for pickup tomorrow. But before we leave, I actually wanted to share with you a product that I was put onto at Dive Tribe. This is an electrical connection, and I want to show you how that works. So these are called Pogo connectors, and what they are basically little magnetic couplers. Let's see if I can focus on here. This is a 2-pin version, and then we've also got a 3-pin version. So you could do LED lights with this, for example, or servo connections. They're a nice size. They're, say, maybe 1/2 inch in diameter, and the idea behind this is you would take this apart. Half of this would live on the cylinder, the watertight cylinder. You solder the connections to the back there. And then you would solder this, for example, to the servo output of your waterproof servo. And then they just snap together. And there's some orientation pins to make sure that your polarity is correct. And it just snaps together like that. So, you know, for LED lights, you know, when you have those in the sail of your sub, you don't want to have, you know, to make and break connections all the time. You could, in theory, you know, mount these vertically and just make it so that the hull snaps down. You know, there's lots of different options with these. So again, they're called Pogo connectors, and they are listed, or will be shortly, on Bob's Favorite Products on my website. And just a reminder there, a lot of the cool things that I have, the tools, electronics, parts, components, materials, all sorts of stuff are on that page. Go ahead, take a look. When you take a journey to that product via those links, I get a little commission from Amazon, which is kind of cool, helps us out here at the Dry Docks, and we really appreciate you supporting us. Okay, we are wrapping up Billy. Do want to point something out, just so you guys know how it's done, but also for the new owner so he understands how this is done. So these are the horns. Can you show them where the horns are for the pectorals? So when they go on, they're actually flipped upward like that. That's how they're mounted in there. You can get a little screwdriver back there, but we actually found the best tool for the job was the pectoral extractor 5000 tool. It's kind of long, but it allows you to just shoot in from the back here like this and pull it out. So little note for Stacy, the new owner, you might want to invest in an extension. It'll just make life a little easier. Although having said that, once you have them installed, they're pretty well done. Yeah, you don't need to worry about them too much. So we are going to bubble wrap the heck out of this. Put it in the crate, bubble wrap all of that, get some foam packs in there, and Billy's Shark will be ready to head off to his new owner in Colorado. Well, there you go. End of an era. Billy is getting sealed up in his little transport coffin. Go ahead and put in, we'll catch some flies. We'll send Stacy some flies. Flies are really bad here this year. I don't know what the heck's going on. So we got to mark that lithium and fragile, and then we should be in good shape. Well, it is Wednesday morning. We got packages all set, ready to go for UPS to pick them up today, sometime whenever they end up showing up. We're shipping out a bunch of Nautilus stuff that Logan is working on right now, and I am going to throw some chrome on the Thunder Tiger. So it's about 1,000,000 degrees outside. It's a high of 91 with like 100% humidity here. It sucks. So I'm anxious to get this painted, move it inside, close the door, get some AC air blowing around in the shop and remove some of this humidity. I want to make sure that paint cures up nice. Oh wow, look at this stuff go on. Holy. That is cool as hell. So this is the based chrome Thunder Tiger. For whatever reason, man, this paint did not like certain areas. We got crazing going on just in certain spots though, which is super weird. Fortunately, like this is all getting repainted, which is the worst of it. There's some small areas in here, but this upper portion is going to get painted a different color as well. So I think overall we're okay. Anywhere that's really bad is going to get a different color anyway, except, yeah, no, this is going to get a new color too. So we're okay. But man, that paint, oh, it's so cool. That looks just like metal. So cool. I think, I don't know. I don't know if we want to gloss it or leave it in this finish, because this satin finish, man, looks so good, so realistic. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see. And the 23 is ready for the water. So I'm just going to grab it, throw it in the top secret test facility, and we're going to see where it floats. Again, just a note, added weight in the front, foam in the back. I'm going to see where and how it floats and make a determination about what we need to do. Also, by the way, drilled a whole bunch of holes, drainage holes in the bottom. So that's going to make life a lot easier for both me and new owner. So this is what she looks like. Sitting level, sitting high, and sitting wobbly. It's a little wobbly-ish. Timber. So good news is we're looking at adding weight very down low in the bow. So I'm gonna go grab some weight, pop it open, shove it in there, and see what that does to the stability and the trim. All right, settling, filling. So I added 2 of these little bars in the front and 1 in the back. So I gave it a little shake, and now it's sitting like a lot lower. This is weird to me. It's level, and it's not sinking. Okay, I know it was sitting a little bit low in the water, as you can see there, but it was sitting perfectly level and it was pretty solid. So what I actually want to do, I'm going to put it in the pool and I'm going to flood the ballast tank. See what it does when it's in submerged trim, see if it sinks all the way to the bottom. Just basically testing the ballast tank capacity. So, not bad, not ideal. This means basically that that ballast tank is slightly undersized for this boat. It's still going to work, and it's still going to work really good, but you can see the ballast tank is completely full because when I turn the pump on, it pees water out of the vent there. I might be able to put a little weight in the front or just a tiny little dibble of foam in the back to get it completely level. But I'd be willing to bet it would actually run. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll just throw it in the big pool and we'll see what it does in operation. But yeah, I don't have my forward planes hooked up right now. I didn't connect the servo. But let's see what happens. I'll turn the pump on, get her back up to surface trim. Perfectly level. I think that's it. All right, let's throw it in the pool and see what happens. So we're going to throw it in the pool, even though it's not perfectly trimmed right now. We could still do more weight in the keel and more foam below the surface water line, but in terms of like surface trim, it's pretty close, and submerged trim is pretty close. So we're not looking for a net difference, we're just looking for a greater difference. So let's see what this does when we throw it in the water and give it a little throttle. All right. Yeah, it needs a little bit more. Foam and weight. And that list that you see is all torque induced roll. So again, you offset that with some foam and ballast, but okay, the beauty and wonder of the R&R cylinder is this whole situation. So we're looking at it from the side now, and I apologize for the condensation in there, but it's a sealed ballast tank. We have a line right here, and there's an intake. So what works in a standard system, in a standard setup for the R&R cylinders, the water goes up to this point, and there's always an air bubble trapped at the top. And that's the secret sauce to full static diving, because what would typically be up here is a little snorkel valve that would close when the boat goes under. So if you try to blow ballast or pump the water out, it can't draw air from the surface. And so what it does is it creates a vacuum, and this air pocket expands just enough to give you positive buoyancy. The boat surfaces, the snorkel emerges from the water, and then releases, equalizing the air pressure. So that's awesome if you want a full static diving submarine. Now, this is going to be a low pressure boat. I've converted it, but right now we've lost all of the capacity from here up because that intake is below that level. Now, this is completely sealed, and I'm not going to cut this open. Couple things to note. This air hose is way oversized for what it needs to be. Air will obviously flow through a much narrower opening much quicker than water will. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this 3/32 brass tube. I'm going to come in from the side here. I'm going to make a channel. I'm going to run it in here and then just have it dive into the ballast tank up here. And what that's going to do after I seal it up is going to allow me to utilize all of this additional ballast tank capacity. Then I'll just run this all the way to the back, do away with this rubber hose, all the way to the back, connect it to this, and we will have additional capacity. And then on top of that, like I talked about, we'll add a little more weight, a little more foam, and get this thing all tuned up. Okay, this is the final assembly. Now, a couple things I want you to note. You see there's a lip in here. So in theory, Ron could have, well, this has to be standard tubing, but in an ideal world, the outside edge of the tube would match up to the outside edge of this internal bulkhead, which would give you, maybe another 330 seconds of radius to play with, which would, help. But that allows us to run this tube along the outside of the ballast tank, and the intake for it is right flush with the inside edge of the tube. So now we've regained all of that. So we've got a solid tube, runs back through into this, and what I did is I just soldered a little lip on there, and I used some silicone rubber to make a little seal on here that'll go up to there. So I'm going to let all of those glue cure really good, and then in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and put some more ballast and foam in this bad boy. Okay, like I said, I was going to work on the foamy foam and the weighty weight. So we got foamy foam in, and this is what we're doing. I got two pieces in here, and they're below the water line, which is exactly what you want to do. Held in by the Velcro strap that holds down the watertight cylinder. So you just pop this on when you're installing the watertight cylinder, and it just kind of lives there. Now what I'm going to do, because I'm very, very, very lazy, is we're going to go back to the top secret test facility and do something so that I don't need to retrim the boat. All right, as I mentioned, I'm super lazy, and I don't feel like putting all this stuff in the boat and then bringing it in the water and bringing out the rubber bands and moving stuff around and all of that stuff. So this is what I like to do. I have this little bundle. So this is my foam, and then what I've done is I just Velcroed a bunch of weights to it. Now what I'm trying to do is find the perfect amount of weight to offset the buoyancy of the foam. So we want this as neutral as possible. Now you can see it's just like barely floating right now. There, you see it's just like hovering almost. So now what we need to do is we're going to put this back into boat. And this is what I was talking about. So this is the center point of our foam, as we can see. Equal distribution of weight ahead and behind of that point. So now when we put the cylinder in and then put the foam in, the foam will be canceled out by the weight. It's not shifting the center point at all. So in theory, the overall trim should be almost bang on where it was before. So the revised placement of the foam and weights has made this thing absolutely perfect. I added a small piece of foam in the top above the surface water line in the back there, but this is what you want. Just like 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch of positive buoyancy of the sail. It's perfectly level. This is bang on. I think we got to get this thing in the pool and see what it does. Well, some trials and tribulations with the Thunder Tiger. That chrome paint that we used was pretty epic. What we learned, and now that you guys know, in case you want to use it for your project, it doesn't like going on other paint, and it doesn't like having other paint on top of it. So, we're kind of working through things. So, for the last, half an hour, decided to bring the Typhoon project in. This is a project for Andy. I got this started in this situation. It's never been run, understandably. So I want to go through this bit by bit. I've not torn into it other than to take the lids off. So let's take a look at what we got going on. 1/4 inch Lexan covers. I like. Look at the access to the interior here. It's awesome. We got some nice beefy seals up here. Provided they're, adhered down nicely, this should be okay. The only thing you got to watch are the joints, because that's where they would be prone to leak. But we'll jump that one. You can see this is a little bit of a gap thing going on right here. Man, these feel hard. They feel really hard. I don't know. We'll see. I might go back to my foam tape idea. I kind of like that stuff. But all right, going from the back to the front, we've got props. They seem to be spinning okay. We got linkages for dive planes. The dive planes are really jerked over. I don't know what's going on with that. I'll have to check it. They're pointed straight down right now. 2 motors, 2 speed controllers. So these are independently powering each one of the motors, but he's got them rigged up so that it's on a splitter. So I don't know what the point of running 2 speed controllers is if you're just going to control them off the same channel anyway. We'll just do away with this. And we're going to make differential independent motor controls. We've got, this is the U-back. What the heck? He's got a U-back plugged. Oh, I see. That's how he's going to feed power to the receiver, was through here. He's got it split off of a Y, which I guess, whatever, that works. And we just got to figure out what all these other things are. We got ballast system here for the T-Max. And this is just floating around. I don't know what it's connected to, but he cut the signal wire. So this is power in, but is not going out to anything, and it's not telling anything to do anything. So that's interesting. We'll have to figure that out too. Moving forward, we got our piston tanks, twin piston tanks per usual. Other thing I want you to notice is no periscopes. There's no periscope assembly in the door there. So, options. No periscopes is always an option. Fixed periscopes is always an option. Float periscopes, always an option. And then you get into the more complicated scissors and like all sorts of stuff like that. So I got to go back in and see what we talked about initially when we went through this project when I quoted it to Andy. What else we got floating around in here? We've got a negative wire. Oh, maybe there's a positive wire hiding underneath there. So looks like this is set up for a standard sealed lead acid battery, but we could do a nice beefy nickel metal hydride battery pack, which might be sort of cool to put in there. Forward dive planes and the retract. We got all sorts of interesting things going on here. There's a switch connected to a Dean's, which I don't know what that's all about. And then we've got these wires here connected to the bow retract motor, but they're not connected to, the Engel bow retract switch thing. You might need to take this plate off and see what he's got under there. He's glued this on. It's no access underneath. A gargantuan, massive, huge. What the? Oh, this is main power. Okay, I don't know why you would run this through a connector. And then that goes back to all the stuff and things. We got the switch, the pressure switch in here for the ballast system. And that's pretty well it. So it looks like we're missing a bow retract switch, which maybe we'll be able to rig up ourselves. I don't know, although it'd be easier just to get Engel's version. And yeah. So that's where we're at. It should take, 20-30 minutes. We'll have this in the water ready for trimming. Not likely. So first order of business, we'll order up some batteries so that we can power this thing up, trace all the leads so we know exactly where they're going, clean up some of this stuff, figure out why it's done the way it's done, and start making things work. We are, by the way, going to be putting an X18 tandem radio in there. We'll rig up the 2.4 gig antennas with the 900 backup, so this will have rock solid performance anywhere you want to go. Thursday morning, we've been busy already. We got a bunch of stuff prepped. We've run to storage. We grabbed some radios. We're coming back. We're programming those right now. Again, I think as a combination of whatever plastic it is that Thunder Tiger made these things out of, and this crazy chrome paint that we're using, we're running into those same issues with paint adherence. Now, we're going to make it work, but I'll show you what we're fighting. So it all looks good from back here, like 2 feet away, but if you get really close, you can see paint crazing in there. The only thing that we could do to make this professional would be to strip the entire thing, and I'm not doing that. We're going to be putting striping over top and clearing it. I think we're going to be okay. All of this is going to get repainted with another coat and then cleared. So I'm willing to accept these minor deficiencies in here, and hopefully Steve will as well. If not, I'll give him his money back, because I'm not repainting this whole thing again. Keep it for myself. So we're making progress. Logan is doing some stripes for masking the black area. So yeah, we're trundling along. A little issue with the 23 yesterday. We noticed it seemed to kind of lose velocity after about 2 or 3 minutes of operation. I think the seal in here may be heating up, expanding, and causing friction on the drivetrain. I'm going to pull that apart, add some lubrication, do another test. That's hopefully all it is. What I'm working on right now is programming 3 FrSky X20s. And this is going to be going with the Seehund, that big Seehund, if you guys remember that. And this is what it looks like in case you need some reminders. Absolutely gorgeous job, like museum quality paint. Mike Martin was the one that did this boat. So Steve Hodges did the print. This is all solid ABS plastic in 1/6 scale. This thing is huge, like 78 inches long or something like that. And that was what the torpedoes were that I was working on, which we need to load up and send with this. And the reason is, you'll notice it's in the back of my vehicle. Did some horse training. This is going to get driven up to Dallas tomorrow. And we're going to be meeting Vaughn and Ed, if he wants to join us. And we're going to be doing a little switchy thing with some boats. Seehund's new home is with Vaughn up in Dallas, and in exchange, his gorgeous upholder, which is featured at many Subfest events, again, originally built by Mike Martin, by the way, is coming into the dry docks. So if anybody's looking for an upholder, there's a very good possibility it's going to be up for sale here right away. But then as a new project that'll be coming up, the other thing that's going to be finding its way to the dry docks, an 8-foot long Russian Typhoon submarine. We're talking 13-inch beam here, people. That is going to be queued up for a future project down the road for a really good customer out of Florida. Hunt for Red October. Yes, complete with Caterpillar Drive. At least that is the plan. Man, it is hot as balls out here. It's like 90 degrees and 100% humidity. This sucks. We're supposed to have thunderstorms here all day, so we're trying to do all our outside stuff this morning before things get crazy. So we're making some good progress here. Still fighting with that stupid plastic though, although this looks 1,000,000% better. We hit that with another layer of chrome. We got our stripes on. That's looking super cool. But what we're going to do is just let the entire thing just cure in the air conditioning for a day before we even so much as touch it again. Logan's just touching up a few little spots on the top that we over masked. And, you know, even this clear dome, like that was hit with gloss black and gloss clear. And look at the pitting.
Oh, on the inside and outside.
Inside and outside, yeah. So it's going to be kind of one of those things where it is what it is, I think. I don't know. It sure be nice to get that thing shiny. At any rate, everything is going well. I got the radio associated for Typhoon here, so we can play with that. I got to play with this here a little bit, but we're coming up on lunchtime. Got a few orders to ship out as soon as we get done with that, but we'll hit the ground running afterwards. All right, we are continuing on with the checkered front of the aircraft, submarine. What I've gone ahead and done is taped the whole thing and marked out the spacing of the grid that I want to put on it. I've never painted checks like this. It's not very often. You put them on submarines. But so I had to come up with something. This is a curved piece. I want 3 rows and then whatever this is, 30 columns. So what I did, I've gone ahead and used this as a common spacer. I've marked out all of the spacing for the checks. And then the other thing I did is I built a little jig. So this is what that looks like. I can put this flat on the table. I can put this flat on the table. And this creates, you know, a roughly flush guide that I can now pinch against the part and run a knife down to create cuts. In theory, once that's done, I can spin this way and create the 2 horizontal lines, pick out every other one, and we'll have a checker. So I want to show you what this thing looks like right now. Pretty freaking cool. But we've got an idea. We're still going to be doing a bunch of like weathering and panel lines and stuff like that, but we have a thought for the nose. Okay guys, before we shut down here for the day, I forgot that I really wanted to share with you those 2 extra things that I picked up from Donnie in my trip to Tennessee a little while ago. Let's take a look because I'm super excited. So the first thing we've got here is this hand-painted portrait of Type 7 U-boat at sea. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a professional artist that did it. And this was hanging on his wall in there. It was done specifically for him, but you know, before he passed, he wanted to make sure that somebody got it that would appreciate it. And I just kind of fell in love with it. The colors are super cool. This is going to find a spot of honor here in our library. So wanted to share that with you. And this is the other thing. This is an actual, genuine Soviet flag that came off of a Soviet submarine. Donnie was in Russia and did a tour with his Russian wife, and he got onto sub base, and they were swapping out the flag on an Akula, and he asked if they would let him have this one, and sure enough, they gifted it to him, and he ended up gifting it to me. So an actual, genuine Soviet flag off of a Russian Akula. Or at least that's what he says. I have no way of knowing. I mean, if any of you are flag experts and can tell by the grains of the flag or something like that, or the, you know, the stitching or whatever, you know, let me know. But irregardless, this is super cool. And I have to find someplace awesome to hang it. And it's going to be right near, on, or under, or behind my big 48th Alpha, I think. When I get a spot for it, I think that flag will end up being right there. Oh yeah, baby. This is gonna look epic. Back on the road again. It seems like I do a lot of driving lately. That's okay, because it always means I got some cool stuff coming. You can see in the back we got Vaughn's big 6-scale sea hound, and we're really hoping that he comes through, because he said he wants to have this completely built for Subfest in September. So that would be really cool to see up and running. He's got like 4 months to make that happen. I got no doubt that he'll be able to do it. It's 8:30 in the morning. Should be pulling into Ed's house in about a couple hours. Been on the road for an hour here already. Beautiful day. I'm glad there's no thunderstorms or anything like that to make this a tragic drive. But I'm excited for that upholder, and really excited for that Typhoon. So we're just gonna put on the tunes, keep on the speed, and we'll be up to Ed's in a couple hours. So here we are in Midlothian, Texas, and we got the crew.
The handoff. The drug deal.
We got a box full of submarines. 1/72nd, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's got some mass to it.
Pretty thing just sitting there like that. Well, assembled.
Because they're bigger than the 196, and they have at least some presence.
Well, yeah.
Here's the upholder folder.
Well, and this is 50th scale, so this is roughly the same size as their scale is Alpha.
Yep.
So Alpha's a little bigger. So on my way home. Well, we are all of us together. You're with me. Had some lunch with Vaughn and Ed. Thanks, Vaughn, for the burgers. It was great. Should be home in a couple hours now. Renee's back from her business trip, so we're gonna chill out tonight. Maybe watch a movie, order some pizza or something. I'm super excited about these boats back here. The upholder has been, as I mentioned, a constant head turner at Subfest ever since Vaughn bought it and brought it out there. Actually, ever since Mike Martin built it and brought it out there. It's got like little crewmen that go up and down, and pneumatic periscopes, and the torpedo shutters open and close. Super cool boat. So I just got to go through it a little bit. I'll make a video, show you guys what it looks like, and end up getting it listed here right away. So anybody who's interested in a beautiful OTW upholder, let me know, or keep your eyes open for the notification. Dive Tribe members should get first crack. I'm just saying, might be a good idea. It's a $10 investment. Other thing I'm super excited about, I'm gonna put this big Typhoon together, just bolt it together. It'll take just a few minutes. I want to show you guys the sheer size of this thing. 8 feet long, 13 inches wide. It's going to offer a lot of opportunities for some cool stuff. I got some plans for this thing, including operational missiles and a functioning Caterpillar drive from Hunt for Red October. But that unfortunately needs to wait for all of my existing builds to get addressed. So it might not be for a little while, but it is queued up, and in the meantime you'll get to see just how cool that hull is. Based, by the way, on the 3D files that Randy Sanders did and that I'm offering on my website. So if you want a Typhoon of your own and you got a 3D printer, go ahead and grab those files. It's really, really nice opening and closing missile doors and missile tubes and like all sorts of stuff embedded in that file package. So I guess I'm gonna let you go. This is as good a place as any to sign out for the week. Maybe we will leave you with a video of past Typhoon project that I did, and maybe we'll queue up another upholder project that I did in the past. Hopefully you enjoy those. Remember, if you do like my videos, like and subscribe. It helps us out here at the Dry Docks a lot. Always enjoy comments, drop them below, or shoot me an email anytime, bob@nautilusdrydocks.com. And with that, you have a great day, and as always, we'll catch you next time.